Okay, this is what we need to do. Welcome to a bonus. This is a bonus episode of William versus the World. This is a music, technology, and social media education and conversation program, but it normally comes on Wednesday. So everyone will have to forgive me for a moment while I check the audio, because this is driving me fucking crazy. Last week, when we did the audio for this, I asked everybody, is the audio changing when I move from one screen to the next? So right now I have the news screen for when we are covering the news articles in the music industry. I put them up on the screen so people can follow along with me. You're familiar with this. You can't see this right now because you're in the other studio. Lexi, everybody welcome Lexi. She's here. We have the windows open too, so people are speeding and racing by, using profanity, and of course, domestic violence. A lot of domestic violence.
Yeah, and I'm Morpheus.
And Lexi is Morpheus. So there's no way to know this right now other than to ask Melissa, who is hopefully in the chat. This is our first audio measurement. Who's this?
It's to flick your glasses up.
I'm gonna start flicking at the opposition. All right, so she says that it sounds good, but here's the thing: is it consistent when I go like this? Is there any drops or changes in audio when I do this? I'm talking. See how I did that? So let me know at home if there's any changes in the audio when I move through screens like this. Is there any noticeable changes? That's what I'm really looking for. I just opened this microphone off camera and ripped a whole fucking piece of electronics out of the microphone and it works better. We don't even know what we removed.
What even is it?
I don't know. It's like your tonsils. You just rip it out and talk about it later. What's the other one? The appendix?
Yeah.
Isn't that something in the back of the book when you're looking up vocabulary?
Yes. There's an appendix there, yeah.
Well, let's not remove it then.
No.
So
not
you're saying
appendix.
that Melissa says there's no changes. Let's do it one more time.
One more time for a good measure.
One more time as we transition for good measure. See how I sustained it that time?
Yeah.
Was that quality? Was there any changes there? Let's do it one more time. Everybody just hang in. This is a bonus episode of the show. This could be considered background or bloopers. I'm going back and forth between the screens. Is there any change in audio? Because see, the issue is, like, when we go and make short form content, and if we switch between the screens, there'll be audio changes. And it makes it ugly.
That's not good.
It's not. Say some stuff, Lex.
Okay. Stuff is being said.
I feel like you need more bass.
More bass.
Here, let me give you some more.
Okay.
Try that.
Does this sound better?
Ah, We got we got your bedroom voice.
I'm Morpheus.
That's your Morpheus voice.
Yeah, I'm Morpheus.
Very good, very good.
I love Morpheus.
And people have been telling me, like, here's another thing people have been saying, and I'm gonna come clean and be vulnerable in a moment. So, hang in there. But Franco said there's no changes. As a matter of fact, it's the first time I haven't heard the microphone peak as much, as it's been distorted or distorting your words when you get slightly elevated. He's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this too, because we have Franco and we can trust him.
We trust you.
Yeah, we don't trust many. Franco's a good one. All right,
Yeah.
so here we go. I'm going to get slightly elevated and pretend that I'm going to pretend that this isn't Thursday. I'm going to pretend that this is Wednesday and that this is an episode of William versus the World on Wednesday, where I elevate my mood slightly, and then everybody at home will be able to give me feedback and criticism on my microphone gain. Because week after week, year after year, people who love me and hate me have told me to turn my microphone down. And I won't, because I know it drives people fucking crazy. See?
You are diabolical.
I
It's
know.
the
I know. I know.
best. I'm always here for the diabolical.
Now look, that is the nature of this show, okay?
Well, yeah.
But I'm admitting this. It's not like I'm keeping this hidden. It's not like my motivation, it's not like my drive is a fucking secret. People that know me this fucking much know that I'm serious. All right? So, I don't have any skeletons in my closet. And I'm really grateful for it. Okay? I wake up brown every day.
Hell yeah.
I wake up William every day. But I do know, there are some people out there that may believe that I am not mindful, that I am not personally aware.
You're very demure.
So my mother had this gift too. She had a very commanding presence and voice, and she was a very animated person like myself. And I know that this can drive people, motivate people. I know that this can annoy people. I'm aware that sometimes I draw a little bit of attention to myself. I'm aware of that. Okay? So I don't always want to fix that. And I do know it annoys people. But I wake up William every day. This isn't an act.
This is William.
So if you're like, oh, I don't like that guy's voice, tough luck.
It's your voice.
Right. If you don't like the way I think, tough luck. But I do care, in contrary to popular belief, I do care what people think about me. I just don't care what everybody thinks about me. I only care what a certain small few think about me. So, I definitely care what Franco thinks. Franco, is my microphone too loud right now? How about right now? Is it right now? Is it distorting my voice? We got to get to the bottom of this, because people that don't like me have told me the microphone's too loud, William. And I know that. And then people that love me say, Jesus Christ, the microphone is too loud, William. And I know that. I know that I'm a loud person. I know that sometimes I'm even annoying. And I'm doing it on purpose. So now, in proof that I'm a cognitive participant, I'm going to now try to make the improvement with the people that care about the longevity of my podcasting career. I'm now asking the people in the small circle that actually care about the future of me podcasting, do you think I should turn my microphone down, or do you think I should continue to be annoying? I can turn it down some. I'm willing to compromise. I mean, honestly, I've heard people say they really like the program, but they would rather watch if my microphone wasn't that loud. I don't think I could stop yelling because sometimes things will come on the screen, and that's part of the fun. You know, is me kind of being passionate and vulnerable.
That's what people like.
Nicole said, fuck that, keep it the same.
I like her.
There's a certain amount of distortion that goes, this guy's, he's on one. You know, it's like if you had scream vocals, you know, in a metal song, you want a little bit of distortion or a little bit of raspiness on the guitar, you know?
Yeah.
It's intended. It's not really. Look, I'm an ugly person sometimes, and I want to show people that.
Show 'em.
That's what this show is about. This show is not about how pretty the music industry is and how pretty William is and how pretty the band is. This is about how real and authentic we can keep it, and how we can continue to do that and add value over time. Nicole said, be annoying. It's better.
I agree with her.
Yeah. My mother used to say that all the time. She used to tell me all the time, I know that I'm annoying you, and I don't care. I loved her for that. She said, you know what I mean? She clean your room, and I'm annoying. And she told me I'm going to be back to annoy you. And she would ask me, my mother would ask me all the time, do you know why I'm telling you this? And I'd say, fucking why? And she'd say, to annoy you. In translation, it was to motivate me, man. So that's why, you know, I can't change my voice or my skin color. This is how I really sound. So I realize some people like hearing bad news from different people. So when I talk about the music industry, sometimes my voice can be unsatisfying. And that's exactly the fucking point. Heavy metal has harsh sounds to it. You're not supposed to love everything in heavy metal. It's supposed to make your skin crawl a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not all study music. I think people have gotten too used to having music about nothing and having music that doesn't upset people. That's the reality of things. We sing about war and poverty. We sing and we dance about storms, hurricanes, and volcanoes. It's not all cookies and fucking cream.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, art imitates life. And not all the time. Sometimes it's just transparent entertainment, but not really for us. Our art shows off some of the ugly sides of humanity. Some of our music shows off the scary side of reality. We can't all just be artists that sing about, you know, champagne and butt cheeks. Although that's wonderful. We like that too. Any thoughts on this, Lexi? Should I turn my microphone down?
No. Just because a select few people want you to turn down your microphone and you like your microphone the way it's at and a bunch of other people like where it's at, then I say fuck the people that don't really like it. And
I
keep
like
your microphone the way it is.
I like being ugly sometimes. I feel like
Right.
I feel like we're all on our best behavior so much that it's just manufactured, man. It's fake. Everyone walking around, all the artists, people pleasing and pretending to be on their best behavior. We can't sing about politics. We can't talk about religion. We can't talk about slavery. We can't talk fuck you. We can't talk about it.
We can talk about whatever we want.
If those things upset you or you don't have the intellectual maturity or honesty, you can step outside the room. Nobody's forcing you to be here.
Right. And plus, like, it shows, like, a naturalness and a realness to your voice.
Okay.
When they can hear it raw.
Okay. I think it's been settled.
Yeah. You're going to keep it where it's at. You're keeping it.
Franco said you don't have to turn it down. I don't think you're annoying. I think you're empathetic. That's a good word. Yeah,
Thank
no,
you,
that is.
Franco.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's give him the thing.
Thank
it
you,
works.
Franco.
I really appreciate that little bit of humanity. because that's part of it. This is a human show. This is a human band. I think that's important, and I do appreciate you guys' feedback. I don't just ignore people. It's important to remember that I'm only here to entertain people, and whether you love me or hate me, or you like the topics that we bring up or sing about in our lyrics, or you disagree with us, keep in mind that we're human beings, okay? Our goal is to entertain everybody at home, whether you agree with us or not, okay? We don't hate you. We're not your enemies or anything like that. We do have certain people that we make the music for, and we welcome them. Our music isn't for everybody, meaning we don't make it, we don't manufacture our music customized to everybody's beliefs. We do bring up some tough subjects on the podcast and in our lyrics and in our posts. But we're human. We're only here for entertainment. And remember that our goal is to create conversations, right? So if you're here and you hear something that kind of shakes you up or makes your skin crawl, good. That hopefully inspires you and motivates you to have conversations of your own. And conversations are the things that lead to hope. Conversations are the ingredients that us in humanity, we've been given the power of speech to have conversations with each other that lead to real changes. All right. So to all the people coming and going, it will always be our intention and to make our mission as bold as possible and as clear as possible, reminding older fans and newer visitors regularly that we will not customize our English or sacrifice with our intellectual honesty for success in the music business. So I do appreciate your feedback, and now I will not turn down my microphone.
Yay!
Okay, it's been settled. Yeah, Nicole says, yeah, fuck them. I love the F word. Guys, the only reason why we do this really is to prioritize the future it's really the future of the band, and we really want to prioritize the future real fans of Sepsis. Having a predictable, safe, high-quality place that the fans of our band can recognize for years to come. Sepsis music is actually our message. They are one and the same. Lexi will tell you. Our music and message is our mission. That's not true for all bands, but that is true for us. Our music is our message, and our views are not always for everyone to believe in. They're just there, and they exist for the people that do believe in them. I hope that makes sense. Because there are already many artists available out there on Facebook, on XM Radio. There are already plenty of bands that stand for absolutely nothing. There are plenty of bands that sing to satisfy the majority. There are already content creators and speakers and motivators that stand for absolutely nothing but transparency. Simply put, our music and our message and our background is not background noise. And our message isn't for everyone. Personally speaking, if we were able to compromise on agreeing on the definitions of basic decency, we would probably have more friends, Lex.
Probably.
But that's the hard thing is people that would hope to be fans of us, they don't always agree on what we feel is the basic ingredients of human decency.
Yeah.
For first-time watchers, if you've never seen this program before, it usually comes on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. 7 p.m. Eastern. For first-time watchers, the one really cool thing you could do if you like this program, if you like learning about the music industry, we do a little social media, and we cover AI, technology. We do some digital marketing, and some tabloid stuff. for fun. But the best way to support that, of course, is sharing out the feed. Doesn't cost you any money. You can also subscribe to us if you're watching on YouTube. That would be awesome. I think we're on Twitch too. This helps us spread the word about our music. Of course, our podcast. We should have another podcast coming out later in the year, and our live feeds and programs like this one, and our live shows like the one that we have this Saturday, Lex.
Yeah, April 26th.
Guys, we don't have a ton of shows this season. And we try not to overbook, especially in our hometown and home state. So if you haven't got a chance to see our band yet, we are playing in Manchester this week, Saturday. Doors are at 7. Of course, we're going to be there with Under the Horizon, Dead Man's Trigger, and our good friends Scarecrow Hill. You don't want to miss it.
No.
All right. So, without further ado, that was a long intro. That was a different intro. But
You took your time with it.
I wanted to make sure that everything worked, like the
Yeah.
audio.
Yeah.
I got to do the thing quickly.
And this is...
Well, the rest of the world. I'm not yelling. Ah.
But, like, it's better when you yell.
Appreciate that, Lex. Have you heard anything about this? I'm always asking Melissa all the time if she's heard of the band A Killer's Confession. I always ask her, and she always says no. And then I go back and I show her the band. I say, "Have you heard of that band? I really like the band." So I've asked her a whole bunch of times in our days of making music. So do you know who A Killer's Confession is? I'm like, Melissa, look, it's A Killer's Confession. So A Killer's Confession, their drummer quits mid-tour. I guess, and I don't know these people. I don't know anything about them. But apparently, from what I understand, the drummer that I guess replaced the person that quit is ex-Mushroom Head drummer. I don't know if that's a big deal. I guess that's a big deal.
I was just about to ask what the big deal was.
I don't know.
'Cause I don't see.
Here's some backstory.
Yeah.
You know, the Mushroom Head wears the masks, right?
Yeah.
And you know some other popular bands that wear masks, like Slipknot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for years, you know, this goes back to me, you know, being a little bit older than you, growing up in heavy metal, and everyone going back and forth with the feuds and stuff. So you probably don't know about this, but people used to go back and forth, like the Ozzy and Dio thing. They do the Mushroom Head and Slipknot thing because they wear masks and everything.
Right.
But that's my limited knowledge of it.
Mhm.
I'm not in heavy metal culture.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a difference.
I'm a black guy that plays the guitar.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
Huge.
I'm not a heavy
difference.
metal fan.
Yeah.
I
You
love
just-
music,
Yeah, you just make music.
or, you know. So, A Killer's Confession drummer quits. I guess they're on tour. I'm bringing you up to speed. They're all out on tour recently. And the drummer quit
Mm-hmm.
mid-tour, or that's the story, or that's what it says in Metal Injection.
Right.
You know. So that's not the reason why I'm talking about this. That's normal. I just
Yeah.
want to say first and foremost that band members quit over a piece of pussy.
They put over the
Let's
silliest of things.
yeah. Hold on. Let me jump in here. Let me get in y'all face before we get into the A Killer's Confession thing. Guys, bands can be personal and they can be professional, but let's keep it real. Most boys quit the band over some pussy. Oh yeah, don't have people get you wrong. It's not Grammys or money. Usually there's some little boy in the band butt hurt over a bitch.
Mm-hmm. He wants them.
Come
What's
on, he
going
want
on?
right, a lot of times in these bands, sex, hugs, and rock and roll. 9 out of 10 times when band members quit a band, if they're boys, they're quitting over a bitch. Like a bunch of punks. And you'll never get to the bottom of it because the boys won't go on social media and tell the truth about it. I quit the band over a bitch because they couldn't just, control a woman, or because they couldn't have the girl they wanted, and they quit the band. The girl was at home. They were going to get married. Boys quit bands over pussy, and then they lie about it. Now, I don't know what this is about. I'm just telling you guys, side note, if you didn't know, usually males in bands quit the bands over women they can't control. You heard it here first. And I can tell you that because Lexi's a woman.
Yeah. And I've seen it every single time.
Right. If you don't believe me, believe somebody with different body parts.
Right. Happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
Y'all gotta grow up and get over it this time.
It's not about talent. It's not somebody owes somebody money. There's no crimes committed. It's people can't control each other. And people get emotional.
Right.
People quit bands because, if people quit bands because of money, everybody would have quit bands years ago.
Yeah.
If musicians quit bands over finances and money, nobody would ever join a band. People quit bands because of their ego, because of humiliation, because they're emotional, because they can't keep their emotions in check, or they can't control each other, because there's creativity involved, originality, and emotion. And 9 out of 10 times when there's boys involved, they're quitting over a girl. 90% of the males that I've worked in the music industry with, for one reason or another, quit the music industry over a piece of pussy, over a piece of trim, over emotional stuff. You might not like that, but they won't come out and admit it. They'll tell you everything else on social media, that there was crimes and there's all kind of terrible things that happened and scandals and secrets, but they'll never come out and tell you, I'm mad over a bitch. They want you to believe it's some other kind of technical issue.
They want you to magically believe something that it's not.
Right.
Because they don't want to look like a bitch. By saying, hey, I broke up with hey, we're not going to do this band thing right now because I wanted this piece of ass and
I couldn't control it.
Right.
I couldn't there's a woman involved back home on tour they couldn't control. There's a girl on the bus that they couldn't control. Some of the band members are fucking the same girl, and everybody gets jealous. Mm-hmm. And it all comes down to they can't control a woman, or they can't control a boy.
And then you find like these bands that like, oh, well, here's our band rule: no one's allowed to have a relationship, and it's like you're just gonna cause it to fail, even that too.
That's crazy. But that's personal experience. I don't know
what these people are going through.
I have absolutely no clue. But this is what I can say. The reason why I'm covering this is because I want to remind people of what it means to be a true fan of music and of a band.
Yeah.
We cover celebrities all the time, living their lives, being personal, or making mistakes, But at what line do we say somebody's a fan of the band and they're just instigating? Like, are we fans of parasocial activities and what we believe is happening in these people's lives? Or are we actually a fan of music? Are we a fan? Like, I have not read what the issue is here. We'll read it together.
Okay.
But before we read it, just ask yourself, are we fans of the art? And everybody's different, There's no wrong answer. I'm just asking, at what point are we just instigating?
Yeah.
Because, like, when somebody quits it, like this drummer quits the band, right? And then everybody takes to social media and reanimates a side. Everyone grabs a position. Everyone picks a favorite. Let's check it out.
Okay.
A Killer's Confession is joined by yet another former Mushroom Head member, as their drummer just quit mid-tour. Everybody keep in mind, this is Metal Injection. This is a rumor magazine. This is a rumor. It's not even a magazine. The motherfuckers ran out of ink 10 years ago because they couldn't afford it. It's not even a real magazine. This is rumors. This is he said, she said stuff, you know. And that's kind of the point of me covering this. Is at what point, I mean, at what point are we fans? Are we just fans of the rumors and the scandals and the drama? Or are we real supporters of these bands, and are we hoping that they succeed? Do we?
Yeah, who's gonna draw that line in the sand of like when you guys are being a fan and when you guys are literally just trying to control people and what they do with their lives?
Oh, boy. So it says here, according to a statement from the band. That's important.
Okay, what does the band say? This is
Well,